So good morning, everyone. So let's get started with the today's session. And so far, what we had done, last two sessions, we had an RC circuit which had a battery connected, and that's called a charging circuit. So in that case, when we connect the battery, and as soon as the connection is made, the capacitor starts getting charged, and it takes some finite time to get it charged. And the time taken for capacitor to acquire something like its 99% charge, it takes less than 5 time constant. And time constant is typically in the order of milliseconds or less. So it takes very small time to get it fully charged, but it is finite time. What you're going to do today is something called discharging. So discharging is something very similar, only thing the battery is missing. So what you hear, so there's a charge capacitor. So the capacitor has initially been charged, it has some charge, plus Q minus Q. So charge on the capacitor is Q. And if it is connected by a conducting wire, and whenever you have a conducting wire, it will always have a non-zero resistance. The capacitor, moment we make this kind of connection, so it's impossible to have a wire with zero resistance, it will have some resistance. So some overall resistance of this wire is equal to R. Moment we make this connection, it will start getting discharged. So it will take similar to charging process. Discharging also will take some finite period of time and current will flow. As the charge transfer takes place, all charge transfer is associated with current. And since here the current also similar to charging process, during discharge also current will not be constant. So during this discharging, which is causing the flow of current, what is the source of energy for flow of current? In this case, capacitor acts as a source of energy. But it is not like a battery. Battery maintains constant EMF or constant potential. Here, as the charge keeps draining from the capacitor, its voltage also will keep dropping. If the voltage also keeps dropping, the current also will keep dropping. And when it gets fully discharged, when the charge drops close to zero, the current also will drop close to zero. And in this case also, it will drop at infinite time. So let's look at this. So potential of the capacitor drives the current in the resistor. So, and we'll go through and it is very similar to what we have done in case of charging circuit. Okay, so again, we take at random time t. At time t, the charge is Q and current is equal to I. Okay, so a process of discharging takes finite time, during which there's a current in the connecting of the lead wire. Let the initial charge on the capacitor be equal to capital Q, and it is connected by conducting wire of resistance R at time t is equal to 0. The resistance R may also include an external resistance. It could be resistance of the lead wire plus any resistor. If there's an external resistor connected and lead wire resistance is negligible compared to external resistor, we take only the external resistance. Else we need to take the resistance of the lead wire. It cannot be zero, it could be small. So let's take at random time t. The current is I and charge on the capacitor is Q. Initial charge was Q. Of course, this small q has to be lesser than capital Q. So again, we'll write a similar equation based on Kirchhoff rule. Let's see how we write that equation. During this small time interval dt, what is happening? In previous case, during small time interval, if we take any cross section, what is the charge flow across any cross section? Charge flow during small time interval dt will be equal to I dt. If that much charge is flowing out from any cross section, the charge on the capacitor will drop by amount equal to change in the charge on capacitor will decrease by I dt. So when it is decreased, it is not I dt, it should be equal to minus I dt. So if we say decrease in the charge is I dt, or if I say what is change in charge since it is decreased equal to minus I dt. All are clear why I am writing as minus I dt here? Why it is minus? So either I can use the word charge is decreased by amount I dt, or I can say the change in charge is equal to minus I dt. Both have same meaning. Okay. So let's apply Kirchhoff loop here. So Kirchhoff loop, I will start from some point and go through the loop, and it's not a very complicated loop. So as we go from here, at that particular instance, I am applying Kirchhoff loop rule at time equal to t. So here it will be Q by C plus. Then I'm moving as I cross the resistance along the current, hence the minus sign, minus IR is equal to 0. Only thing as we come, what is from the previous slide, what we gather here, what is it? dq equal to minus I dt, or I has to be equal to minus dq by dt. And this case, so here also, this is what I will again in the evening today, maybe spend little time in explaining what I mean by differential equation. In this case, this is a differential equation. It relates a small change in two quantities. Which are the two quantities which are related here?
Charge.
A small change in charge in a small time interval dt. If these two quantities with as the time increases in small dt, if both the changes are in the same direction, sign is positive. If they are in the opposite direction, sign is negative. So whenever these two quantities are related, sign will depend on how these two changes are related. So as time is increasing, charge is decreasing. They are in the opposite direction, that's why minus sign. And other way also we can understand here, the current is equal to, since Q is decreasing, it equal to current value is positive, is minus dq by dt. We will substitute dq by dt, so the previous equation can be written as q by c, and it becomes plus, in place of I we substitute minus dq by dt, so it becomes equal to my plus r dq by dt is equal to 0. So again, similar way, the way we solve this is very easy to integrate this equation, or if I rearrange the term, I bring this q term together, dq by q becomes equal to minus 1 by cr dt, and that we integrate. What will the limits of integration? I will integrate from initial time t is equal to 0, because at time t is equal to 0, charge is known and current is known. I'll integrate to time t is equal to random time t. So let's have the limit of integration. So at time t is equal to 0, charge is capital Q. At this particular instance of time, charge is Q. And this is the this will be my equation for integration. And this is a very simple integration. It will become log Q. So it will become log small q minus log of capital Q, or ln, since base is E, you want to use that term, you can use ln minus ln capital Q, which becomes equal to, yes, Vignesh, any question?
Yes, sir. Sir, what will be the initial current here?
We'll come to that point. This is something, can we guess what is the initial current? See, initial, how do I treat this capacitor? I mentioned something earlier also. Can you tell me how I can view the capacitor? What is the other way I can view the capacitor as?
We can view it as a battery. Right?
Battery. So initially, what is the battery? Yes, we can know that it will act as battery of EMF equal to what? What is the voltage of the battery in that case? Capital Q by C. So it is acting as a battery, but what way? It is similar to battery in the sense it supplies potential, it supplies energy. But what way it is not similar to battery?
It's
Potential is not
EMF, like, I mean,
potential
difference is not constant.
So potential difference, it doesn't have a system to replenish the charge, unlike the battery. Battery chemical energy replenishes the charge. Okay, so
Yes.
I can easily, so this circuit, if I have to assume at time t is equal to 0, I can view this as an equivalent circuit. This is the battery. What is the EMF of the battery? Equal to voltage. What is V equal to?
Capital Q by C.
Capital Q by C. So that's the initial t is equal to 0 view. But this will keep on changing. Okay, so I can find. But even otherwise also, when I formally get the equation, I should get the same result. Okay, I should get even with differential equation solving also. Yes, any question, Ashray?
Sir, so for the small interval dt, we consider the charge to be constant, right?
Yes, that's why I taken it in small time interval.
Yes.
But in very small time interval, we can assume this to be constant. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Since potential is varying with time, how do we make the potential to be constant? Since it is varying with time, if we take the time interval too small, infinitely small, then potential can be taken as constant. And same with current also. So we integrate, we get this value, we rearrange the term, Q comes equal to Q e minus t raised to power, and Q e raised to power minus t by tau. Whereas earlier case, what is happening in this case? Can we plot this charge here? What is the shape? How would charge vary with time? This also again something like this, e to power minus x. It is exponential decay curve. So the charge will vary with time. So and we can find current also. Can we find current here? How do we find current here? We differentiate. So dq by dt, it will become equal to q by tau. So q by rc e raised to power minus t by rc. So from here also, can I find current at time t is equal to 0? What is the initial current? Can you find initial current here?
Q by RC.
Q by RC, same as that. So even this solution also should lead to the same result I could have inferred from initial state. So Q, so can we figure out what will be the charge at time t is equal to 1 time constant? When t is equal to tau, how much will be the charge? So what will be the charge on the capacitor? Initial charge is Q.
0.3.
So it will become what? So I'll substitute t is equal to tau, it will become equal to Q by E. And what is E equal to? E is equal to 2.7.
2.7.
E is Q by 2.7, 2.73 whatever. And this one is roughly equal to 0.37.
0.37.
Earlier it was 1 minus 1 by E, now it is 1 by E. So in case of charging, the value becomes 1 minus 0.37, hence it becomes equal to 0.63 at t is equal to tau. Here in case of discharging, the charge becomes equal to 0.37 Q. It becomes 0.37 times the initial charge.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, so discharging is slower, right?
No, why it is slower? See, first of all, charging and discharging. How do we compare those two things? When we talk about slower, what exactly mean by slower? No, so we have to define what are we measuring? What is the time rate we are measuring? So are we measuring current? The rate of charging, if we talk about rate of charging in terms of change in charge per unit time.
Charging depends on the initial current also, right?
Yes.
So we can't compare them.
So when you look at this current, and how would current look like? Can you plot this current here? See, if you recall, this is equal to I naught e raised to power e minus t by tau. This is same current what we had in case of charging. Current is same. You notice that one? Why is current same? Because in case of charging also, there's another constant term. Rest of the terms remain same. Only the direction is different. All of you understand what was the current? How do you find current in case of charging? For charging, what are the equation? Q is equal to Q naught 1 minus e raised to minus t by tau. So which is equal to Q naught minus Q naught e raised to power minus t by tau. So if I differentiate, only thing what will happen, both will have same derivative. One will have positive sign, other will have opposite sign. So both in case of charging and discharging. So whatever current it had during charging process, at same time during discharging also it will have same current. Only thing which will be different will be, what will be different if current value is same? The direction of current. In case of charging, the direction of current was like this. That's why the charge was increasing. In case of discharging, the direction of current is reverse. Do we understand why the current is same? Do we see this expression?
Sir, but initial current is different, right? Initial current is different.
Tell me. See, let me give you two circuits. So, and then think and tell. See, this is initial circuit. I have connected with battery V, a capacitor C. This is R. Second case, what happens? This same capacitor, what is the charge this capacitor has? See, for current to be same, the potential has to be same. So what is the charge this capacitor has? This is charge C. This is equal to Q naught. Initial charge is how much? CV. So battery has been removed. It is charged. Now it is connected to the same resistor. It is discharging.
Sir, so the initial potential difference is same as the potential of the battery when discharging.
So basically, what has to happen? If I see when we charge the current, there has to be some potential. Whether this EMF, if it is charged with a particular battery, after fully getting charged, this battery is removed. It is discharged. Will the current in both cases will be equal or unequal? Both cases current will be equal. So what I am comparing this with what charge? What has to be same? This potential has to be same. And if same battery was connected and the battery has been removed, I am comparing with which current? I am comparing with the current when it is connected to the battery which has been used to charge it. So current will be equal. And if we write the equation also, what is the value of Q here? Q is equal to Q naught 1 minus e raised to power minus t by RC. And what is Q naught here? VC or EC. And hence, what is I value equal to? I is equal to We differentiate this value we get. In this case, what will happen? Just write the value of Q. What is the Q you write here? RC, because resistance is same and all. What is Q naught? If the same battery was used, Q naught will be equal to VC. And what is the value of I here? Minus. Is it clear?
Sir, why will it be minus V by RC?
Yeah, why minus? I am using minus sign what to indicate something. What I am using minus sign to indicate?
Opposite direction.
Direction will be opposite. So first case, what is happening? Because this is the direction, charge is increasing. Here the direction opposite, charge is decreasing. That's the difference. Does it sound logical?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what it is. So one, understanding the formula. You need to understand what the formula implies, how it has been arrived at, then only you can use it properly. But we should remember the formula, but it's also important to understand how it has been arrived at, or how it has been put to use. Okay, and okay, so that's how much, sorry. Where it is, okay, so that's how charge will vary. That's how charge will vary. Okay. Let's look at how do we apply in terms of any question. Let's try and find out this case.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, so like if we don't have a resistor in the circuit and we just connect the capacitor plates through a wire, will any charge flow through it? No, right, sir?
If there's no resistance,
Yes, sir.
tell me what will happen. You only think and tell me.
It will be shorted like instantaneously, right?
Yeah, it will charge transfer will take almost instantaneously, very quickly. What is instant by me? If charge transfer takes place in infinitely small time,
Yes.
very large current, very large current. So in this equation also, does it tell you the same thing? What will happen if R tends to 0? What is current equal to?
Infinity.
Infinity. If R tends to 0, what will happen? R tends to 0. Time constant becomes 0. So it will immediately get discharged. Immediately get discharged means the time for transfer. So this charge Q will get transferred in how much time? It will get transfer time dt tending to 0.
dt tending to 0. Yes, sir.
So what is shorting is a very large current will flow for very brief interval of time. And does it mean? And when would charge flow not take place?
When
Because
R is
you
very
already
high.
asked this question. Now you are telling me when would charge transfer not take place? Charge will remain same. When would when would battery will not get discharged?
When R tends to infinity.
R tends to infinity. And how do you make R into infinity? If the wire is there, if I have a small gap in the wire, what does small gap in the wire indicate? What happens in the gap? There's air in between.
Open
Small
circuit.
gap in the wire or break in the wire indicates infinite resistance. Can we think of a gap between the wire as infinite resistance? There's insulator in between. There's air in between. What is the resistance of the air? Almost infinite. Now, is it making some logical sense? Is it, or is something? It is just these are points what one need to memorize. Disha,
Yes, sir.
see whatever discussed today, does it sound logical based on whatever we learned today, or till now, or still they're all formula kind of thing? Not doesn't sound logical.
Logical, sir.
All the things you can infer, this whatever you have done, you have understood most of it, or any
Yes.
part not clear. Have you understood the part what will happen when our resistance is close to 0? Disha,
Not
have you understood
clear.
what will happen when the resistance is close to 0?
So not clearly.
Okay, so your resistance close to 0 is not clear. Let me ask some other people. Jaydeep, have you understood what will happen when the discharge
Yes, sir.
resistance is close to 0? Tell me what would happen. Resistance is close
The
to
current
0.
will be infinite, sir.
Current will be infinite. Why would current be infinite? How do we explain the current will be extremely large? Extremely large means infinite, but there's something we cannot calculate that large. How do we justify the current will be large? What basis do you justify the current will be very large? R is equal to 0. Which way can you justify that? What is the time constant? One I can do in terms of formula. If R is equal to 0, what is the time constant? Time is equal to R.
0, sir.
It will approach 0. So how much time will it take for charge to drop to 0.37 of its initial charge? It will take zero time. So,
Yes,
so
sir.
much charge transfer has taken place in 0 time. If charge transfer takes place in almost 0 time, what is the current?
Infinite
tends
current,
to
sir.
infinite. Current will tend to infinity if R tends to 0. Is that difficult, Disha?
No, sir.
Okay. So I hope you are clear. And what happens if R is tending to infinity, extremely large resistance? Have you understood, Disha, the point? If I have an open circuit, if there's a wire, there's a break here. What does discontinuity in conducting wire imply, Disha? What does break in wire? The wire is broken, but this is something I've connected, that there's a gap in the wire. What does that break in the wire indicate?
Like R tends to infinity.
Does it make some logical sense why we take R tends to infinity? What does
Yes.
gap
There's
mean?
no
Yes.
there's no current flow in that part, so we can.
No, I think reason is different. Between the gap also, yes, what is there in the gap? Air is there.
There's no free electrons.
There are no free electrons. So what is the resistivity of air? Resistivity of rho is tending to infinite. So
Infinite.
it has infinite resistance. Air is something which has extremely large resistance. The gap is, it means this space is what occupied by air, which has infinite resistance. So this is open circuit is infinite resistance. Okay. So I hope some of this you understood. Now coming to this question. Let's see what do you understand from here? A plate of 50 is charged to 500 microcoulomb. Find the charge remaining in the capacitor 1 second after the connection is made. Okay, one is finding in terms of formula. Other thing, let's try to understand this. This time large compared to tau? Is it comparable or much larger compared to tau? So time, whenever we have to find charge, let's understand how does this time compare to time constant. So first, let me get a sense of what is the time constant for the circuit. Then I think whether charge transfer in 1 second will be very large or small. What is the time constant in the circuit here?
Yeah, 50 milliseconds.
50 milliseconds. If time constant is 50 milliseconds, this is how many time constant? 1 second is how many time constants elapsed? So many time constants. So if many time constant is elapsed, what will be the charge here? Will be large or close to 0?
It'll be close to full, sir.
Close to?
Like almost complete capacity.
Okay. Anybody else? What will the charge? See, charge after several time constant. In case
Close
of
to
charging,
0.
close to
It's
0.
discharging, right? So
Yes, discharging. So anything the way we say in case of charging after 5 constant, what happens in case of charging after at time t is equal to almost 5 time constant? It requires 99% charge. In case of discharging also at this time, when the time is equal to several time constant, the charge will approach 0 value. It will be very, very small compared to initial value. It will be less than 1% of the initial charge. So if options are given, I will not do any calculation. I will just calculate initial charge. Initial charge is how much here? C into V. How much is C into V or C into E, whichever we want to write, which is equal to 50 micro into, sorry, charge is already given, 400 micro. So if
we need that.
so what will the final charge? It will be less than 1%. The final charge, yes, it is several time constant. So if any one option is given as 2 microcoulomb, can this be possible option?
can.
It cannot be. Because after several time constant, it would be much less than 1%. So definitely it has to be much less than 1%. So it will be much lesser than that. And this is not easy to calculate. If I had this formula, this question, time constant is 50 millisecond, and charge after this is equivalent to 20 time constant. 20 time constant is much less than 1%, and actually it comes. It's difficult to calculate, but comes extremely small. It will be 1/1000 times of charge. So if I have to choose an option, I will choose an option which is extremely small. Maybe something after 20 time constant, less than 1/1000 of the initial charge. Can we calculate this here? Suppose you have to calculate time. What is the charge after 20 time constant? How would I calculate it? I write Q is equal to initial charge is how much? 400 into T
power
minus
minus 20.
T to power minus 20. So that will be equal to 400 divided by 2.73 raised to power 20. So what does it look like? Definitely this number looks like what? Much more than 400, is it not? So this is something I
Yes,
can't
sir.
calculate, but I can get a sense of what this number would be. And why we are doing this question, can someone again remind me why we are doing this kind of question? Because we can't find the exact value. But some exams, when they give an option, based on this what I get here, I should be able to guess, I should be able to rule out some of the options and identify the right option. What I can definitely identify from here, it would be less than even 1 micro. Is this point clear, Kevin? Kevin? Karthikeya?
Yes, sir.
Karthikeya, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
No, so basically we don't have to calculate, because this number we cannot calculate. But we can get a fair estimate what the number would be like, and we can arrive at, we can choose the correct option. Okay. Now coming back to this case, we'll find two things. One, first part, at time t equal to 0 plus. What does 0 plus mean here? What would 0 plus imply, Karthikeya, here? Soon after switch is closed, soon after you start, what is the current through the battery? Find current through the battery. Can we find that answer?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can't charging and discharging take place simultaneously?
Basically, are you saying, can a charge on a capacitor at the same instance increase as well as decrease?
No, I mean first increase and then decrease or something
So
like
it
that.
has to happen. But is it in the same circuit? I'll come to that tomorrow. So is it possible that in a circuit, first we connect, first discharging take place, then charging take place? That is possible. But simultaneously discharging and charging can take place? No. At the same instance, both the things cannot happen. But if I have a circuit, I will come to that circuit tomorrow. If the capacitor has initial charge, okay, what will happen? Let's do this first, and one by one will come. How do you find current through the battery? I'm interested in finding this charge. This current I have to find out. But this circuit has both a resistance as well as capacitor. How would I find out this current here? This resistance I know how to deal with. How do I deal with the capacitor? How would capacitor behave at time t is equal to 0? What should I do with the capacitor at time t is equal
So we
to
can
0?
ignore,
Huh?
we can ignore it.
They act like isolated capacitors.
See, basically we have dealt with two things. There's something at t tending to 0. How does capacitor behave?
The potential drop is 0 across the capacitor.
Yes, and the capacitor behaves like a conductor with 0 resistance.
Then the whole circuit will be shorted, right?
Yes, actually this circuit will not work. This circuit, that's why it's coming to. This whole circuit will get shorted. So this one you can't calculate. Conductor will be like a 0 resistance.
But we don't need like
Here this is not needed. And what happens? I'm just making the point. What happens at t into infinity? How do we calculate capacitor? How do we treat the capacitor?
no current enters through the leads of the capacitor.
So this one behaves like an open circuit. So the branch carrying conductor will not have any current. And this I'm just repeating the point. Yes, Ahlad, you have any question?
So how do the capacitors work like a current conductor? So because they have a gap in between, right?
Okay.
What did he ask, sir?
Then I'll explain the question also what he's saying. And yes, Mehdi is a natural doubt to come to the mind. Okay.
How does it act like a conductor?
He says, see, Ahlad, you only answered this question to me. We have connected a battery. Battery voltage is 10 volts. And I have a capacitor, 2 microfarad. I have a resistance R is equal to 2 ohms. I make this connection at T is equal to 0 gap, Ahlad. So what is this connection? If there's a key at T0, I close the switch. Soon after closing the switch, will the current flow in the circuit or not, Ahlad?
Sir, it was, I mean, what I was trying to say is,
I'm coming to your point, but I'm coming one by one. So basically, what current will flow in the circuit? Will the current flow or not? Current will flow. How much current will flow? Can we find the value of current soon after time T is equal to 0? Current will be equal to 5 ampere. So how did I calculate this current? We have done this derivation. We understand also what will happen. Charge transfer will take place from here to here. I mentioned that also. Will the charge move from here to here? No. But in rest of the circuit, I have drawn the current. This current will be I. There will be current I. There will be current I. So charge will flow from this point to this point. So whole circuit from this point. Okay, let me redraw that point. So which part will have charge flow? Entire part, this part will have charge flow. And I mentioned also even through the terminals of the battery also. But will there be charge flow between the terminals of the battery from capacitor? No, there is no charge flow. Charge getting transferred from this point to this point. So whichever blue line I have drawn, entire part of the blue line, there's a current flow. Okay, so is the current flowing across this? No. So when I calculate this current here, to calculate this current, how should I calculate this current? How did I calculate this current here? This value, what we arrive at, is equivalent to a circuit, closed circuit. It is equivalent to what circuit? In terms of for purpose of calculation of current alone, it is equivalent to this circuit. But when I calculate, when I'm saying it behaves as if it is shorted, does it mean that I'm saying that current will flow across the capacitor? No, I'm not saying that. So what he said, the circuit will behave as if capacitor is not offering any resistance. Does it mean the current will flow across the capacitor? No, there's a difference between the two. Ahlad, are you appreciating the difference between the two?
Yes, sir.
And so you understood the point? Yes, current will not, charge transfer will not take place here. But can I, for purpose of calculation of current, can I assume that this circuit, this has, if I have to make a circuit, what kind of circuit will I can make which will give same current which is flowing in this circuit here? And where's the current flow? Current flows in the blue part only. Is the current flowing in this part here? No. But rest of the circuit, there's a current flow. Does it make sense or not, Ahlad? The current flow is flowing, current taking here from here to here. Ahlad, is you understanding this point? That's why the charge transfer also takes. Getting treated here, charge is getting added. And you mentioned also in the derivation equation. So you understand this point now? Is this clear? It's good that you raised this point. Many other people also have the same thing. So what we are doing for purpose of calculation, because our mind, we are more comfortable calculating current and all in a circuit which has only battery and resistance. So what we do whenever we come across a capacitor, in these two cases, we can get rid of capacitor. And then I get a circuit which has only battery. And so why I'm using this, what is the purpose of this assumption? What is the purpose of these two assumptions? Ashray, what is the purpose of this assumption? Can you tell me again?
Sir, to eliminate the capacitor, sir.
To eliminate the capacitor.
So that
in between I can't do, in between I have to use the formula. But for time t is equal to 0 and time t is equal to infinity, I'm making a simple, based on behavior of capacitor, I find an equivalent circuit which to find only for the purpose of finding current. I can get a circuit, so I will end up with a circuit which doesn't have a capacitor. So I hope, Ahlad, is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's come to this. So if we have to find
my doubt is not clear, sir.
Pardon me?
My doubt is not clear. I understood the point, but what I was trying to ask was the what do you call, positive charge will be transferred from the rightmost plate to the leftmost plate, right?
Correct.
So what will happen in the part in between, sir? Because it's connected to the resistors as well.
Yeah, see, basically, okay, tell me one thing. If you have done something, if you have two spherical balls, okay, this is a conducting ball, this is also conducting sphere. This has charge Q, this has zero charge. And if I connect by a wire, will the current flow in this wire or not?
Yes, sir.
And so is it necessary that it has to be closed loop for current to flow?
No.
Not necessary. What will happen if it is closed loop? There's no accumulation of charge anywhere. There's no depletion of charge anywhere. It keeps going in a circular loop. But if it is not a loop, what will happen if the current flows? There's a net transfer of charge. So here also, where is the current flowing? Here also current is flowing, not here. Where is current flowing? This point to this point. Here also, where is the current flowing? Current is flowing from a point where charge transfer is taking place to another point where the charge transfer is taking place. So where is the current flow in the blue part? That's where, and is the current charge flow continuous everywhere? Everywhere, because in between there's no change in charge anywhere. Rest of the part is still neutral. So if any part is neutral, the incoming charge has to be equal to outgoing charge. So current has to be equal everywhere in the rest of the circuit. So still, where's your doubt now? Now again, state your doubt. What is your doubt now?
Sir, the first step is the charge will be transferred between the extreme plates.
Yes.
After that, the current will move from the left plate to the right plate in the middle. So, but in the first step only, the potential difference will be made, and then the current can move to the resistors, right?
I think do one thing. See, you think through what you have. Again, today evening session. Again, if you have a doubt, just come back what the doubt is. I think, see, what will happen, okay? And you need to look at, see, what is happening. See, sometimes if the three things are there, we look at two things, third things we ignore. And that's where the problem comes. What is happening here? What happens at t is equal to tends to 0? As the time changes, things are changing. In your mind, if there's one thing you can do in mathematical equation, we capture in terms of mathematical equation, you get a result, and we understand the result. Second thing we need to understand, as the charge transfer keeps taking place, why would the current change? Do you understand why would the current change?
Yes, sir.
There's a reason why the current is changing.
Potential difference
changing. So there's everything. This is something, whatever you've done, if you apply it logically, every question you have, you will find an answer. If there's a missing gap, first you think through on your own what you have done, what is the doubt you have, and still you have doubt, we'll come and clarify. Okay. Yeah. And I think this is an adequate explanation. And sometimes we miss some point. If you miss some point, let's go and discuss. Okay. So coming back to this question, to find the charge on 4 capacitors. Is anyone who cannot find the charge on 4 capacitor? Is the method clear of finding charge on 4 capacitor? Is similar to what we did yesterday. Is it clear to everyone? If I ask some of you, you should be able to answer. Shreya, can you find the capacitor? Final charge. Shreya, can you find charge on the capacitor? Where is Shreya?
Yes, sir, I'm not.
Can you find the charge on the capacitor? How would you find charge on the capacitor in the steady state? Tell me, method.
We need to find the potential difference across the capacitor.
So if this capacitor is connected to point A and B, what I need to find? I need to find VAB. How do I find potential difference between 2 points in a steady state? What is the important point in steady state? No current will flow to the branch connected to capacitor. No current here, no current here, no current in this branch, no current in this branch. Sorry, no current in this branch. So how is the current flowing? The current flow will be like this. The current flow will be top loop and bottom loop. So if I look at each loop, it's very clear. Potential difference, if it is 6 volts from here to here, 6 volts is being divided into 1 ohm and 2 ohm in the similar proportion. So this potential difference from here to here will be equal to 2 volts, and from here to here it will be equal to 4 volts. So what is the charge on this capacitor? 2 into 1, that is 2 microcoulomb, and this will be 8 microcoulomb. Similar, both are equal potential. See, potential difference from here to here is 6 volts. It gets divided in equal ratio. So this will be equal to 3 volts and this also will be equal to 3 volts. So what is the charge on this will be equal to 9 microcoulomb and this also will be 12 by. Is this understood? Shravani, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever we have these questions are simple at the initial state and the final state. And many questions which are RC circuit which comes like this. What happens t is equal to 0? What happens t is equal to infinity? Okay. Something like this. Can we solve this question? Find the potential difference between point A and B in steady state. So these 2 points I have to find potential difference between A and B. Okay, let me break it down one by one. Can we figure out how much current will flow in steady state? Anish, can you tell me what will the current flow in the steady state through the battery?
100 by
100 by 30, you're saying?
yes.
See, Anish, you tell me what is the current in this branch?
0.
In a steady state? Huh?
0.
0. Okay, no current can flow here. What will current in this branch?
0.
0. What is current in this branch?
0.
So what has to be current in this branch? This is 0, this is 0. It means this also has to be 0.
Yes, sir.
At junction. If this is 0, this is 0, current here also is 0.
Yeah.
So what will happen in a steady state? It's slightly tricky. What will happen in steady state? No current will flow. Is this clear? Why there's no current? Khyati,
Sir.
have you understood why there's no current?
Yes, sir.
No, so basically whichever branch has capacitor, what we start with it, this will have no current because this branch has capacitor, it is fully charged. This branch also will have no current because this is a capacitor, and this branch also will have. So if this also has 0 current, this also has 0 current, this also must have 0. Because this, if 3 branches are there, if 2 of them are 0, third cannot be non-zero. So net current is 0. So basically, if there's no potential, if the current is 0, what is the potential drop across this resistor?
0.
0. What is potential drop across this? 0. So I can remove this circuit is equivalent to your capacitor circuit. It is equivalent to, in this capacitor circuit, a battery of 100 volt is connected. So whole circuit becomes your capacitor circuit question. So can we find the potential difference? What we need to find potential difference? I need to find the charge on different capacitors. Can I find charge on the capacitors now?
You can
So
convert it into equivalent capacitance and then find
Correct. So this becomes entirely your capacitance circuit. Is there any resistors now? No. It becomes a capacitor circuit. And we need to know how to solve capacitor circuit. If we know this previous chapter, again we do find equivalent capacitance, then find the charge flow, and then we'll go for the distribution. How do we find equivalent one? Do we find anything in parallel in series?
Yes, sir. The left, right.
Yeah, so we can easily spot this point potential is A, and are these two in parallel?
Parallel, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
These two are connected between potential A and B. These two are also connected between potential A and B. And this one is connected between potential A and C. So if I redraw, I can redraw the circuit. The circuit becomes something like this. I'm again revising some part of capacitor. So B point is in between. So these two capacitors connected between A and B. So it is something like this.
6.
Yeah, these are two capacitors A and B, and these two are connected between B and C. And this one is connected between, one end is connected to potential
A and C. A and C.
A and C.
Yes, sir.
So, and there's a potential difference of 100 volts across A and C. Can we solve this circuit? Yes, we should be able to solve this. And now again, you should remember how do you
Parallel,
solve
they add
parallel?
up.
We add
Parallel,
and
they
yes.
add up.
Again, what happens when you do number of question or resistance? We forget that part. Okay, so don't mix it up, and we can calculate. So we can calculate total charge, and then we can do the distribution. Once we have total charge, and we can calculate either. So this circuit we reduce it to 6 and 2. So then we have potential difference between A and B. It's actually very easy. Do we need to calculate charge distribution? No, actually not necessarily. What we
Yes,
need
sir.
to find potential difference between A and B. These 2 points. So these 2 points, yeah, this is equivalent to what? This is equivalent to 6, and this is equivalent to 2.
2.
How would potential difference takes place? Potential will get divided in inverse proportion of the capacitance. And so this one, I hope all are able to do. Would you be able to solve it, or you want to step by step solve this question? So this question is equivalent to something like this. Three and 3 become 6 microfarad, and 1 becomes 2 microfarad. This one is 1 microfarad, and this point is A, this point is B, and this point is C. So it actually, this voltage, this is V1 and this is V2. So in case of capacitor, voltage is inversely proportional. So when we write V1, V1 will be equal to C2 divided by C1 plus C2 into V. So what is that equal to? 2 divided by 8 into 100. So any point we can find potential difference. A, B, B, C and all we can easily find. So 25 and 75. Shreya, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Shweta? Samita, are you there? The girl in the last bench. I can't hardly see you from here. Samita?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
Have you followed this?
Yes, sir.
Do we still recall we did something, a chapter called capacitors
Yes, sir.
in last birth?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, that's we are done. Okay, let's do this question. So take a couple of minutes and try and solve this. And initially, until we are familiar, we can draw a circuit and all also we want to understand better. Discharging. This is how charge varies as a function of time. But this is talking about potential. If we multiply this equation by C, what do we get here?
V equals to V naught.
Maybe becomes equal to QE is equal to Q naught V e raised to power minus T by tau. So potential at any time T is equal to initial potential e raised to power minus T by tau. So whatever equation I have in terms of charge, since the potential is proportional, similar equation holds good for potential as well.
Sir, QC, right?
Sorry, multiply by C. Both the pair written QC. Because I had potential in mind, simply I written QC. Multiply by C, so QC becomes potential. So can we solve this question now? Okay, and you try step by step and try to think of I tell okay. Without calculation, if I tell the potential will be equal to 1 by 50. Can someone think of how can I come to this potential equal to 1 by 50 volts without any calculation? Okay, just look at this, see that and this property of exponential curve. This is called exponential decay. Exponential decay is, it is varying as what? V is varying as V naught or any quantity. Or I can, in more general way, if I write as, okay. In this case, let this quantity be V naught. This is V1. This value is V2. This value is V3. And let's say this time is 0, this time is some time t naught, this is 2 t naught, and this is 3 t naught. In this case, what will happen? Just see that one and think of proof also. V naught by V1 will be equal to V naught by V2 equal to V2 by V3. So whenever, if time intervals are equal, ratio of values at the beginning and the end of time interval also remain same. Are you following what I'm saying? And can we get a proof of this?
How, sir?
Just can you think of this curve? If I have to write this one in terms of y and x, I could have written what is y equal to? Y is equal to some constant into e raised to power minus ax. Okay.
That's the definition of exponential curve, right?
Yes, I am just using the property of exponential curve. I am not doing physics now. We're just looking at exponential curve. So whenever you have an exponential curve, negative exponential curve, which is called exponential decay. So if I take equal value of x, wherever we take, suppose I take one more value here. What is the value I have taken? I have taken t, and this is t plus t naught. So what is the gap between the two? Gap between them is still t naught. So ratio of this ordinate divided by this ordinate will always be same. And thus we can easily prove based on the exponential property. So what it means in time interval, see from 50, it has, what is the ratio between first time interval of 10 millisecond? First time interval of 10 millisecond, it has dropped by ratio of, it has dropped from 50 to 1. In second time interval also, so first time interval of t naught, it has become 50 by 1. Second time interval, it will become 1 by V2. So what will V2 be equal to? And can someone think of a proof? Many of you are getting extremely good marks in mathematics. Can we easily find a proof for this? Anything which is varying as a exponential decay. If we take any two quantities with equal delta x, the ratio of ratio of ordinates will be constant.
dy by dx will be
not dy by dx. Actually, dy by dx will keep reducing. How do I prove this point? This is more of a mathematical exercise. Can you think
so like generally we take if we take like suppose in this equation t and 2t, the ratio will be constant, e to the power t naught by tau.
So this is a property I can use not only in this chapter, wherever we come across exponential decay curve, which happens in case of even other cases also will come across, this property holds good. And this is a property of this relationship. So here also I can easily find number of ways I can find the proof. And okay, if you're interested in a proof, maybe in a work session I'll give a proof also. So such question, whenever you come across some question, what I notice here, first time interval is 10 millisecond and second time interval. So this question is something like this. This question also, is this curve similar to this one? So let me look at what this curve is. This also is exponential decay curve. What is given in this question? It is given something like this. So here at initial quantity is 50 volts. At time interval after time of what second? Time of 10 milliseconds. Then other is 20 milliseconds. And this is 20 milliseconds. So these two time intervals are equal. If these two time intervals are equal, this is 50, this is 1, and this is V. In that case, 50 by 1, the ratio of its value at the beginning of interval and end of interval has to be equal to 1 by V. And if I take any other two ordinates also, what is the general form I can write? This time is t, and this is t plus 10 millisecond. Again, the ratio will be equal to 50:1. That's the property of exponential decay curve. And can we find a proof for this? Vignesh, can you prove this one? You are always getting 100 to give me the proof for this.
Sir, the
So like
constants
actually,
get
it's,
cancelled.
the ratio is constant. So like suppose if we take
Yes.
t naught, we get e to
Right.
the power minus t naught by t. 2 t naught
Yes.
e to the power minus 2 t naught by t.
Yes, correct. So it will get cancelled. So the ratio will remain constant. And we can use this property. So this question can be very easily understood and solved if you use this property. And this exponential decay, have you done nuclear in chemistry? Have you done nuclear part? Nuclear chemistry?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Radioactivity.
Yes, sir.
They're also same thing. Exactly the same thing. So there also we'll do some question which can be solved very easily using this property. There also it is exponential decay. So here charge is decaying is exponent function. There what happens then and what is n number of
Half-life will be constant, like
huh?
the half-life for same period, it will be the same.
So it is not only half-life. What I'm saying, as long as time interval is constant, the ratio ordinates will always remain same. Are you following what I'm saying now? And you'll do some question when we come to radioactivity. We can have some questions which has very good application of this property, and those kind of question can very quickly be understood and solved using this property. There also same thing follows, exponential decay. And this is the property of exponential decay curve, and this is the ratio. And all of you can easily figure it out, or otherwise required, and I can give a small proof also. This very small proof required. Okay. So what we have done today, there's a so far few points. We have done discharging. In case of discharging, the current. We got an expression for charge, and this time constant for charging and discharging, are they same or different? Time constant?
The same, sir. For
Time constant are same. Okay, and a simple understanding of this formula and application of formula. Other thing what we'll do, I maybe do one or two more questions which have RC circuit. Whenever we have RC circuit, sometimes we get a question, what will happen soon after connection is made and what will happen in a steady state. We should know how to modify a circuit so that we have only battery and resistance. How do we eliminate capacitor from the circuit? First case, we eliminate capacitor by replacing them with a wire of zero resistance. In second case, we make it an open circuit. And then it becomes only a battery resistance circuit which can easily be solved for current or potential. So these are things we have done so far. And again, per work session, we'll take some more application. So I'll stop here and again continue from here in the work session. And one other thing is some of you can look at this as well. And any other doubt also we can deal with. So I'll stop the session here. Anybody has a more individual doubt also, we can. So Ahlad, are your doubt is still there? Are you want to clarify some doubt? We can continue now.
Clear.
Okay, now you want to go home. You have another session or lunchtime now?
We have another session, maths.
Math session. Okay, then you can wind up now. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Again, we'll catch you in the evening then.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.